Okay, let's start with the biggest upset in heavyweight history. For context, Rico Verhoeven is about a 30-1 underdog.
Dang.
When Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson, he was a 42-1 underdog. Hassan Rahman was a 16-1 long shot when he knocked out Lennox Lewis. Andy Ruiz was Fort Anthony Joshua. Corey Sanders was 10-1 against Vladimir Klitschko. But in each of these cases, the guy pulling the upset was an experienced world-class boxer.
And I don't think Usyk is the kind of guy to take a guy lightly.
No, he's not.
I think he's not going to step into this fight with Rico and play with his food.
Yeah, nah.
That's the mistake that Fury did when he fought
Ngannou.
where he took him lightly and then they went the distance.
And got dropped.
Usyk don't
Yeah,
do that.
he gonna take care of business.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on real fast, real quickly.
I have to agree in terms of the challenge, and this is not a knock on Verhoeven. Just to give you a little background of who Rico is. He's been an undefeated heavyweight champion in kickboxing, and I mean he's not undefeated, but he's been defending his title for the last 10 or so years, which never happens in kickboxing. These guys knock each other off all the time. He has actually a similar track to Usyk in terms of how he's beaten all of his contemporaries more than once. He beats a guy, they go down the end of the ranking, he beats the next guy, that guy works his way all back up, Rico beats him again. He's been that dominant as the heavyweight.
For myself, just wanted to quickly get your thoughts on Usyk against Verhoeven, obviously in a couple of weeks' time, but just your thoughts and feelings on that fight.
Yeah, I feel like there's levels to this game. As a kickboxer, he's always going to be up against the guy who's a master at boxing. I don't think he's got a chance at all.
Wow. Almost 11 years ago, 7-2 underdog Tyson Fury went to Dusseldorf and beat Vladimir Klitschko. A win, an underdog win, defined by the tactics of Peter Fury in the corner of Tyson. Peter Fury is also in the corner of Rico Verhoeven this Saturday as he takes on Oleksandr Usyk as a 9-1 underdog. Is there any chance that Peter Fury repeats history and pulls the underdog again? Let me know.
Hi, Gail. Salam alaikum, Gail. We're here. We're ready to fight.
Undisputed heavyweight champion Oleksandr Usyk is preparing for one of the most unusual fights of his career as he faces kickboxing superstar Rico Verhoeven in the highly anticipated Glory in Giza event. The fight has captured worldwide attention because it brings together two dominant champions from completely different combat sports. While many fans are excited about the spectacle, veteran analyst Max Kellerman has issued a serious warning for Verhoeven. According to Kellerman, the challenge is far greater than simply learning boxing techniques. He believes Rico is stepping into a psychological and tactical battlefield where one mistake against a fighter as experienced as Usyk can completely change the course of the fight. In his view, this matchup could become the toughest test of Verhoeven's legendary combat sports career.
Tyson Fury boxed Francis Ngannou. Gabe brought it up. By the way, a guy who came from a fighting background that does not focus exclusively on striking. In other words, boxing was a smaller percentage of what Ngannou did than what Verhoeven does. And Ngannou was able to catch and floor Fury and lost a close decision. The thought is Fury took Ngannou light. Gabe mentioned it. But that's a mistake Anthony Joshua did not make when he almost decapitated Ngannou when they met in the ring, right? That is true. Do these fights tell us anything about Verhoeven's chances in your opinion, Mike?
Look, it would not surprise me at all if Verhoeven gets in the ring and we're like, wow, this guy's capable. He's better than we thought he was. Like you said, he's considered the greatest kickboxer and heavyweights of the last 10, 15 years. I don't know much about kickboxing, but I talked to Todd Grisham, who calls fights for the Zone on Boxing, who does it for Glory, and he says Verhoeven's like a legend. So he's also 270 pounds, 6'6". It would not surprise me if he was a lot more capable than we expect.
Also, too, when you're a guy that's so accomplished, and then you're fighting a guy that is only his second pro fight, and he's doing a bunch of punching from weird angles. So it could be a little embarrassing because it's not the same. It's not the basic
Which you're used to
boxing
seeing.
style. Yeah, so you could probably get hit with weird shots that are coming from all crazy angles, him stepping off. So it could probably present complications.
The journey to this historic showdown was filled with rumors, surprises, and major decisions behind the scenes. For years, Rico Verhoeven had spoken about the possibility of crossing over into another combat sport. At different times, speculation linked him to potential opportunities in MMA, including reported interest from organizations connected to Dana White. There were also rumors about possible crossover fights against famous heavyweight names from other disciplines. However, instead of choosing what many considered a safer or more familiar option, Verhoeven made the bold decision to challenge one of boxing's greatest champions. By agreeing to face Usyk, he bypassed several alternative opportunities and went straight toward the biggest challenge available. The move surprised many people within the fight industry, who viewed it as an enormous risk against a boxer known for his intelligence, discipline, and ability to punish mistakes.
Ring.
Right.
I still, all day, every day of the week, sorry mate, I think he'll get his, I think Oleksandr will deal with him, but it'll be interesting to see because he's very confident.
Can we get into this? I mean, obviously you see weaknesses in Usyk.
Everybody.
And let me tell you, his people listen to this show, and whatever you're telling us now live in TalkSport will probably end up
in their laps.
in their laps.
Yeah.
But if you want to tell us in as much or as little detail as you're going to, from the first bell, what are you going to do?
Knock his head off. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm, like I said, I'm like 55 pounds heavier. Yeah. So as soon as I hit him, it's gonna be something different.
You're going to knock his head off?
Of course.
I think he's only been knocked down once. He's never been knocked, and that was a low blow. He's never been knocked down. You're going to have to go some, Rico.
Oh, what an opportunity I have here. I'm going to shock the world in front of the pyramids in this crazy scene. It's like, oh my God, I love it. That's why I'm so excited.
I mean, tell me about your punch power. What is your knockout capacity? I mean, you can see Usyk in front of you.
I'm always like very calculated. But yeah, when I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of weight behind these punches. So yeah, of course, within the kickboxing sport, I was used to just throwing the kicks and doing my thing. But now we get the opportunity to use the hands more. So Peter is like, oh, he's like crazy excited. He's like, finally, because we've been throughout all these years, we've been debating so much because he's like, yo, Rico, you got to do a little bit more of this. You got to I said, Pete, I can't because within kickboxing, that doesn't work. And now he's like, okay, I can teach you boxing